Hello, great evening, everyone. Welcome to our May webinar series episode AI powered conversations mastering communication in the digital age. Thank you all so much for being here. Once again, I'm Jeannie Sun, the founder of Quiet Marketing, a marketing mentor and coach. I've been doing marketing webinars for 2 years and counting, and recently founded Quiet Marketing as an avenue for aspiring marketers and entrepreneurs. Quiet marketing was born out of a simple belief that marketing doesn't need to be loud to be effective. We already live in a digital first world, and AI powered everything, automated content, instant replies. The volume has never been higher, but ironically, human connection has never felt farther, and we're generating more noise than meaning, more speed, less soul. And as the pace accelerates, so does our craving for something real, mindful, and grounded, which also explains how we crave for more mental health support. That's why quiet marketing exists for the ones who want to make an impact without shouting, for the ones who believe that strategy beats spam and depth will always win over noise. This is your unconventional webinar, no fluff marketing, no long intros, no blah blah blah, just straight to the point marketing insights that saves you time and energy because we know that your time is valuable. So just a few reminders before we start with our discussion. Please type hello, good evening, uh, whatever you want to say. Be professional, respectful, and let's all maintain a safe space for everyone. Feel free to ask your questions, shout out to your friends in your school, and say your goodbyes before you leave. Of course, your e-certificates will follow shortly, especially for those who are actively engaging in our lives. Please, guys, I would like to see your name. I'd like to see your comments in the live chat. I appreciate you so much and thank you for your time. Know that you can watch this on replay or even self paced, but you're here and giving time, even with your busy schedules, you're here. All right, let's begin with our discussion on AI powered conversations, mastering communication in a digital era. We're living in a time where typing a few prompts into an AI tool can create a whole email, meeting summary, or even presentation. But does that mean that we're better communicators or just faster at generating words? So, in the session, we're talking about how AI is reshaping human conversations because how we speak, how we write, and even connect has never been more important or more at risk of becoming robotic. So this webinar is your guide to staying sharp, intentional, and human in a digital first workplace. So let's start with what's happening right now in the way we communicate. AI isn't just a tool, it's reshaping how we talk, how we write, and connect. And whether we like it or not, it's a shift. The shift is already here. So let's break it down. Communication is now asynchronous, cross-platform, and AI-assisted. Tone, timing, and clarity are more crucial than ever. The tools are evolving, and so are we. Communication is now asynchronous, cross-platform, and AI-assisted. So we're no longer just talking at work. We're thinking, we're tagging, forwarding, and automating. So the modern workplace runs on asynchronous communication, meaning it's a communication method where participants are on both sides of the conversation have the freedom to start, to pause, and resume conversational messaging on their own terms, eliminating the need to wait for a direct live connection. You can leave a comment on Google Docs, on Google Sheet, on Canva even, Figma for designers, Notion for project management. Your colleague replies with a comment and your manager sees it hours later via Zoom summary. This is not a glitch in how we work. It's actually the new default already. So we're no longer expected to reply in real time, meaning ng asynchronous. We're expected to keep the thread going across tools, time zones, and even AI generated input. So if you're in a team meeting, for example, Zoom, AI take notes, you assign the next steps, you leave comments for clarity, your team replies the next day from another country, even. The bottom line here is if we don't understand how communication flows, we risk falling behind, and not because we don't talk fast enough, but because we don't talk where others are listening. Also, as a COO that works with the tech team, when we do team meetings, given I wear too many hats, I use prioritization, time blocking for time management, productivity management tools. Now, since my tasks are in accordance with my priority, if a meeting does not necessarily require my presence, I use Autopilot AI. So it's a note taker or meeting transcriber, and I have been using it ever since because not only that it solves time consuming meetings, long meetings, it also summarizes meetings and provide action items and all your recordings even so I can play it simultaneously while doing other tasks, while listening in the background, or I can even replay it during my free time. So where does AI comes in terms of smart suggestions? In terms of common features and even smart suggestions. So when you're using tools like Google Docs or Grammarly, the common feature becomes more than just a space to leave notes. It actually enhances how feedback is written, received, and even suggested. So for example, also have this in Gmail, smart suggestions. So here's how they show up. And we also have here in Grammarly, AI can suggest edits before you even leave your comment. In Grammarly, for example, they may highlight tone issues, wordy sentences, or even phrasing and offer a comment style correction. Okay, so there. Now, when it comes to tone, timing, and clarity, yes, this is more crucial than ever. You can be smart, you can be right, but if your tone is off, your message won't land. So, again, in a digital world that we have, people can't read your body language, they read your tone. So, one mistimed message, one vague sentence, or an overly formal reply, and suddenly you're hard to work with, or cold, or even too soft. So AI tools can clean up your grammar, but you are responsible for the emotional clarity of your words. So, nag-reply ka sa isang message ng noted, noted po, copy po. It sometimes can feel dismissive kasi nga it's natural for us humans to assume. That's why AI tools like this can help us clean our tone. Okay? So, for example, also kapag ka meron kang pag-delayed response ka, it can come off as avoidance naman for others. So, kapag ka naman you also have a message of a perfectly AI crafted message, it can feel robotic. So if it lacks warmth or context, you know that it is AI written, diba? So sometimes you just keep reading it. You know that it wasn't well thought out. Ang tendency if the reader cannot feel the emotion, or that's hard to feel kasi ang emotion natin. So, mahalaga, kaya natin ito pinag-uusapan, um, AI tools can help us in terms of tone adjustment prompts, given nga na we're living in a digital first world wherein we're using this communication platforms. That's why tone is important as well. To give you an example, we have tools like Grammarly, AI or Notion AI. They analyze tones, they can suggest rephrasing to make a comment more polite. assertive or clear depending on what you want to express. Okay, so key takeaway here is that effective communication is emotional clarity plus tactical timing is important as well and use of plain language. Kasi nga, when you're using AI, you know that it's chat GPT generated. We all know that because we all use chat GPT. So we're familiar on how it goes, what it generates, what are the words that it always generates and provide us. So don't just write to be correct, write to connect. Okay, so the best communicators today are not just articulate, they are aware. Okay, so there. And then, of course, the tools are evolving, and so should we. We must evolve with these AI tools too without letting them speak over us. Okay? So, AI won't replace you. Palagi naman natin sinasabi niya. But someone who knows how to communicate with AI will. There's a quiet shift happening. More and more of our words are written by tools, meeting notes, email drafts, LinkedIn posts, project summaries. We're not just the senders anymore. We're editors of machine generated content. But here's the danger. When you let the tools talk for you, you risk losing your voice, and what makes your message resonate is the human behind it. Okay, so your intent, your empathy, your edge. Okay, so Chat GPT can help you reply to a client. Grammarly can fix your tone. Zoom AI can tell your team what they missed. But if your input is vague, bland, or soulless, so will the output be. Okay, so the bottom line is that AI should never speak louder than your own voice. Use the tools, don't let the tools use you. Okay, so here's an example of auto-generated feedback. AI can draft comments for you. Some platforms like Zoom AI or Notion, the one that I've mentioned kanina, Autopilot, can summarize meeting notes and suggest action items or comments based on what was said, saving you time and still requiring a human to finalize the tone. So instead of reading through every thread, we also have collaborative summaries now. AI can summarize the main points of the comment discussion, especially helpful in long documents or long notes. So what we're saying here that AI helps you say it better, but it's still your intent, your tone, and your relationship with your team that decides how that comment lands. Now that you've seen how the landscape has changed, the next question is what tools are shaping it? So let's explore the AI tools that are writing the rules of communication and how you can use them without losing your voice. So the right tools just don't talk, they help you talk better. So what it means for AI enhanced communication is AI communication tools aren't here to replace your thinking. They're here to support your expression. They help you brainstorm, edit, clarify, and even sense check your tone. But they only work when you lead with intention. So a tool can make your writing faster, but only you can make it meaningful. The future communicator knows how to guide AI, not just use it. Here is your AI powered digital communication toolbox. We have Chat GPT for brainstorming responses, simplifying complex ideas, or reframing tone. There's a debate actually in using AI in education because of ethical concerns. So I watched a video where one professor who used to be a student sinabihan daw siya ng professor niya na you cannot use AI for your research. Okay, so when you're not okay with the use of AI, given that we're now living it, breathing AI powered everything, it's not just actually being stagnant or close-minded, no? They're not use of the idea of AI. And sometimes kasi our minds are framed to remain the same and we're not convenient and it's safer, it's a no-brainer to just continue what we're used to. Okay? And kasi adapting then to new tools, especially for older generations or complex na for them, it takes another season or effort to learn new things for them. So it's not that they totally disagree of the use of AI, sometimes because of ethical considerations as well. But the challenge here is that, yes, meron naman talagang mga AI checkers na eh. Sometimes I try to test these tools also. I try to generate a write-up for using ChatGPT and try to use an AI checker. Most of the time, it's not always accurate. So when it comes to research naman, it only aids for reading our efficiency eh, in summarizing lengthy text and extracting key information. It saves time for researchers and students. AI tools can quickly sift through vast databases of academic papers and identify even relevant research for a given topic. It can automate data collection processes by mining databases and extracting information. And while it is a powerful tool, it's always important to remember that it's not a replacement for human intelligence. At the end of the day, it's human first. So researchers need to ensure the accuracy and reliability of the data generated by AI, and they should also be aware of potential biases in AI algorithms, especially that it's also crucial to maintain human oversight when using AI in research to ensure ethical practices and avoid misrepresenting information. So that's my own opinion. Whenever you claim something as your own, you know that you deceive no one but yourself every time. So that's my own opinion when it comes to AI and research. But of course, that's just a supplemental discussion for this topic. Okay. With Grammarly, it can go beyond typos, getting tone suggestion, clarity edits, and inclusive language checks. For example, for a student also, this is very helpful. Kunwari, ang gusto mo maging tone mo is professional or your tone would be just casual, friendly, casual. For consistency, Grammarly is helpful in terms of tone consistency. Okay, now with Zoom AI Companion naman, it can give you live meeting summaries, action items, and even auto draft follow up. So, well, I don't use Zoom much. I prefer Gmail because I like it streamlined. If I used a platform, I like it in one place. So I only use Zoom for external meetings, but yeah, I'm familiar that it has Zoom AI already. Notion is for project management. I don't suggest Notion AI for students because it's not free, it's paid, but it's good in generating reports, clean up notes, and create structure for from brainstorming with your team. And we could also just learn from the UI of the Notion and could create your own version using Google Sheet. Okay, so for this is actually for project managers. You need training to use this tool, especially for non-tech individuals. And we also have Slack AI, Microsoft Copilot. This is more on um, organization, mga business organization na. So it searches conversation smarter, suggests replies, and summarizes threads. So this is more on large organization, but getting familiar with these tools early on keeps you ahead when you later on na nag-apply na kayo ng mga trabaho because these are the tools that commonly used with organizations. Let's talk about practical tips on how to use these tools using prompt templates you can steal today. When using ChatGPT Grammarly, it's good for rewriting for clarity. So these are just the basic prompts that you can use for rewriting for clarity, softening your tone. They're summarizing information, summarize its 10 paragraph thread into 3 bullet points with action steps. So, um, the technique with prompt engineering with ChatGPT, you need to start with a framework. Okay, so that we're going to talk later on in the next coming webinars. All right, so I think that's on May 24, I guess. So just check on our social media pages for our upcoming webinars on these topics. Okay, so for summarizing information and for getting unstuck. So once again, these are just the basic prompting technique that you can apply. All right, so to give you a quality output for ChatGPT and even Grammarly. Okay, so we've explored the tools, we've talked about when to automate and when to stay human, but how do you really know you're using AI the right way? Okay, so let's break it down. AI can make your writing faster, cleaner, and more efficient. But here's the truth no one talks about. Clarity isn't the same as authenticity. So, how to know you're doing it right? Okay, so before you hit send, hit pause and then ask yourself, okay, did this tool help me express what I really wanted to say? Or did it water it down into something polished but lifeless? So is the message still mine? Or did I let the tool speak for me? Because just sounding professional doesn't mean you're being real. Ask yourself, would I be okay standing behind this message in real human conversation? If you can't imagine saying it out loud with confidence, it's not ready to go. So AI can support your voice, but the responsibility to be clear, to be intentional, and to be human, that is still yours. So AI is not just here to talk for you, it's here to help you talk better with more clarity, empathy, and intention. The tool is powerful, but your direction is what makes it matter. So here's the thing. AI can help us sound better, yes, but it can't feel for us. This is where emotional intelligence in a digital era comes in. So, in this part, we'll talk about one thing uh, tech can't replace, it's human connection. Because tone, trust, and empathy are still our secret weapons in any conversation. So, tech is helping us talk faster, but are we still connecting? So, we've mastered emojis, Zoom filters, and typing speed, but none of those replace human understanding. So, in a world where ChatGPT Grammarly emails and AI generated replies dominate. How we interact, one thing often gets lost. It's our emotional tone. So here's why this matter more than ever. So it says here that AI can read the room. You have to. Okay, so example, you can use ChatGPT to draft an email, yes, but it won't know if your teammate just had a rough day. It can't sense sarcasm. It doesn't recognize subtle cultural cues, and surely it doesn't know if your thanks sounds cold or kind. So that's your job. That's emotional intelligence at work. So here's what I do. Um, With ChatGPT, mga smart suggestions like mentions kanina, we use it for automating our tasks. But if we know naman that example, ang isang teammate mo is already having a hard time with overload tasks or even sa mga classmates mo when you're doing a projects. Sometimes, yes, we can use AI generated responses, but we make sure that we tweak it in accordance to the situation. Pwede mo naming sabihin na, oh, just gently following up with you. I know that this past few days has been hard, but know that I'm here if you need help. So things like that. We can incorporate our emotions with the smart suggestion. So that's emotional intelligence at work. So before hitting send, ask, would I say this the same way if I were face to face? So next is empathy is your edge, especially when using technology. So sa mga remote teams, especially for us or other cross-cultural meetings, yung mga magkakaibang lugar with deadlines, we all feel the pressure that being the one who pauses, clarifies, and shows grace, that that's leadership, not weakness. So ito yung nawala na sa ating generations ngayon kasi kami nag-handle ng internship. Marami na kaming na-handle na internship. It's parang 100 plus already na ata, magti 300 plus na here in Baguio and different parts of our neighboring cities then. Sa observe ko with these internship is that nawala na talaga yung kamustahan, kamusta ka, or yung just being human talaga. Kapag work lang talaga, nawala na yung human connection. So, ito yung sinasabi natin na incorporating our human intelligence in this AI-powered world. Kasi we crave for mental health support eh. But kung sa sarili natin, hindi natin na-apply, it's hard to crave for those things that we don't practice. Okay, so we start within ourselves first before we even demand it from others. Okay, so kunyari for sa mga teams, when you're unsure, you can ask questions like, how are you really doing today? How are you doing today? Let me know if this message came across very clearly. Mga ganyan. So, we also have trust is built in the small things, even in chat. So people don't remember every task you assign. Kung ikaw ay isang team leader sa isang project nyo, people don't remember every task, but they do remember how you made them feel. Di ba lagi nating naririnig yan? How you made them feel during hard times, during cramming times. Ask yourself, did your feedback come with kindness? Did your follow up respect boundaries? Did your message match your intention? If not, no AI tool will save you from losing trust. So, tip natin dito is that use tone like Grammarly or ChatGPT to refine but not replace your words. Then reread it like you're the one receiving it. So, yun lang ang palagi nating tatandaan in terms of using this AI tools is that kapag ba tayo ang naka-receive ng message, um, how would we feel? Okay? So, emotional intelligence is not optional in digital communication. It's your invisible, it's your superpower. It turns tech into connection, and connection is still what drives real teamwork. Okay? Kasi kung wala, lahat na tayo ay parang mga robot na tayong lahat. Okay? So, before we wrap up, let's bring it all together. Okay? These tools are powerful, but what matters is how you use them. So let's go over the key takeaways and how you can start applying this right after this session. So it says here that you don't need to be techy, you just need to be intentional. So AI doesn't demand that you become a coder. It asks you to be clear on your message, thoughtful in your input, and deliberate in how you use it. So intent beats intensity every time. You don't win by knowing all the tools. You win by knowing how to use the right ones at the right time and for the right reasons. So, ang tip dito is start with one tool, use it consistently, observe the impact, and refine it from there. Okay? And AI can write for you, but you own the message. So, ano ibig sabihin niyan? A prompt can build a paragraph, yes, but only you can shape the content, meaning, and the tone that feels true to your values and your goals. Let AI handle the heavy lifting, but you steer the ship. Ikaw ang director sa mga AI tools na ito. So ask this before hitting send. Does this sound like something I'd actually say? So human connection will always be your best communication strategy. People don't just want information, they want to feel seen, heard, and understood. And AI might help you scale, but empathy, your tone, and again, your intention, ulit-ulit nating sinasabi, are still your superpowers. And when in doubt, go human first always. So this is a short webinar because the message doesn't need to be long to be loud. And again, in an AI-powered world using tools like ChatGPT, it's not cheating. It's smart actually, but only if you stay in charge. You're not just a prompt. You're the voice. You're the strategy, the why behind every word. And let AI do the heavy lifting, but never let it speak for you. The best communicator in the room is still human. It's still you. And before we end, here's a question to sit with. When was the last time you communicated without AI? So pause for a second. Was it this morning? Last week? Or just earlier? Or has it been a while? So this is not a guilt trip. It's just a reminder to use the tool, but don't lose the thinker behind it. Okay? So that wraps up our webinar for AI powered conversation, mastering communication in the digital age. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I hope to see you in our next webinar entitled Prompt Engineering with ChatGPT: How to Write 3 times faster and 5 times smarter. So in here, we're going to talk about more of the framework prompting for ChatGPT. And of course, May 24 AI marketing as well. So I'll see you on the next one. I hope that you enjoy this session. Please don't forget to answer our webinar testimonial form. You can find it in our webinar registration email. And please do like all of our social media channels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel also so that you'll get notified on our future webinar updates. And yeah. So once again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Please say goodbye in the live chat. I'd love to see your names. I'd love to see your comment. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great night.